Alrighty, so today we are going to take a look at last night's CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinal first leg match, as I wasn't able to watch either of these games because I went down to Merced to watch the US Open Cup second round matchup between Alfredito versus Central Valley Fuegos, and of course, the Sports Hop Series episode of that will be coming soon. But yeah, I'm kind of glad in some way I went to that instead of watching both of these games because yeesh. Yeah, last night was a bad night for MLS, and maybe a night that could be a wake-up call in terms of MLS, and maybe even the owners of MLS in terms of these ongoing roster rules that we've been talking about that significantly need to change in this league. So we first talked about the game between Columbus versus Tigres because out of both of these bad games, I think this one maybe has the more positive light, though now Columbus will have to go down to Mexico to get a resort. And yeah, going down to Mexico to get a resort from MLS team has historically not been great, especially when they go to El Volcan, which is pretty much a house of horror for MLS team. Now, in the first half, the kickoff of this game was actually delayed to 9 p.m. due to lightning. And keep in mind, FS1 had this game being the first game of the doubleheader. So yeah, I didn't know exactly how they, of course, did it. This definitely great, maybe a bit of complication. I'm assuming maybe they pushed this game to FS2 or worse, they decided to put this game on Fox Soccer app or Fox Sports Plus app, which yeah. I don't want to talk about that because how bad it was, especially after the last time when the game was pushed to that because of a random college basketball tournament that is going on. But it was still a good sizable crowd despite the fact that this game started late. And then the other interesting thing about this game is that no Cucho was in the starting 11 in this game. Now, this is kind of surprising considering I thought in the last game, after he, of course, did not play, it was partially due to, Wilfred Nancy trying to rest him, and also the fact that he kind of broke team policy and that they decided to bench him for one game. I didn't think he was going to be benched for a second consecutive game, and there's definitely some mixed reaction in terms of it. On one hand, I can hear that people have said that, obviously, team principle goes above anything, even in an important game, because Wilfred Nancy has known in terms of laying down the law, and if you break some of the team policy, he's not going to be afraid to trying to enforce it and maybe sit you out for a couple of games. But on the other hand, you also have the crowd to say this feels kind of ridiculous considering this is literally the biggest game for Columbus in this early season, and you decided to bench your best player, a guy that maybe could have been useful in this game against Tigres, especially when you're at home. So again, it really depends on how you look at it. For me, I would say that I would kind of lean more toward the crowd that said that they shouldn't have benched him because of team policy. But I can also say that I can see why exactly Wilfred Nancy is doing this, and that again he's not afraid to lay down the law and just kind of send the rest message to the rest of the team that if you break the team policy, I'm gonna lay down the law and put you out of the starting 11 or on the bench, even in an important game like this. But that being said, not much really happened in the first 15 minutes of this game as both of these teams was feeling each other out. In fact, there was no shots for the first 15 minutes. The first shot of the game did see Enestroza miss wide from close range, but then in the 18th minute, Tigres takes the lead, and guess who it is? It's that guy again, Andre Pierre scoring from Linus to make it 1-0 in favor of Tigres. I swear, every single game that involved between Tigres and the MLS team, it feels like Andre Pierre is on the score sheet. So I'm pretty sure every MLS team is hoping that eventually he does retire because yeah, he has been just an absolute killer of MLS team for the past couple years. Not even maybe the past couple years, but maybe even almost now about a decade ever since he joined Tigres. But that was also Tigres' first shot of the game. So yeah, not ideal for Columbus giving up a goal on the first shot of the game. Morris did try to answer, but he was denied by Rodriguez, and then Rodriguez would deny Henestrosa from close range. Russell Rowe then hits one right to Rodriguez before I thought Columbus started to take control of this game and creating some chances. But the question is, can they put this one away? Because they're still down 1-0 in terms of the aggregate score. And just as how Cincinnati, when they were the more dominant side, wasn't able to find one against Monterrey, and that didn't quite end so well for them in the second leg, didn't it? Rossi then hits one right to Rodriguez before Annis shows up, blasts one into the Nordecker. But then in the 43rd minute, Columbus does get and at the equalizer as Diego Rossi, who hasn't scored so far this season for Columbus, he finally scored here to tie the game up at one apiece, and it was an absolute gift because it came off a WTF turnover from Tigres. That's something you usually don't see with Liga MX team giving up the ball cheaply there and led to a goal. But Columbus will take it. It's all tied up at one apiece heading into the second half. In the second half, not much really happened in the beginning of the second half, which I feel like it was by design because you knew Tigres was going to try to slow this game down, trying to grind this game to a halt. I mean, they know that after Columbus got the equalizer, uh, right on the stroke of halftime. The last thing they want is to have the momentum, and that yeah, they really did a good job in terms of trying to grind this game to really just to a halt, not allowing Columbus really anything, and really they kind of started to sit in a bit of a low block in some way where they weren't allowing Columbus any passing lane whatsoever, like what we saw it near the end of the first half, and of course taking that away goal advantage back to Mexico. Bernetta then hits one right to Schulte before Angulo would hit one right to Schulte as well. And then Bruno that would shoot one right to Schulte again as all of a sudden, remember how I said that Tigres was going to try to grind this game to a halt? Well, they kind of sense that they want to win this game, and they look to try to press for the lead back, and it feels like Columbus was on the back foot a little bit. And then in the 77th minute, more bad news for Columbus. They went down to 10 men after Aiden Morris gets his second yellow card of the game after just getting his first just minutes ago in this one. So not ideal there from Aiden Morris, and definitely not ideal for Columbus that now he's not going to be available in the next game. And Aiden Morris definitely a key piece in terms of the midfield of this team. And again, despite being a man up, I thought the shithousery has definitely begun from Tigres. Well, to be fair, the shithousery never uh begun around this point. It was all there. You usually see it with Liga MX team. They're gonna take their time in terms of goal kicks and corners and throw in and maybe even trying to dive a little bit, trying to go down just to waste some more time in this game. Though Pizarro did headset wide on the corner before Schulte had to deny Flores from long range, and you can kind of feel like Columbus was up on the ropes a bit. Down to 10 men, Tigres definitely smell blood, and that it feels like more like damage limitation for Columbus, at least giving themselves a bit of a chance in the second night, because the last thing they want is to find themselves down in this two-leg affair and give up two away goals, and that heading into the next game, not only they have to win down in Alvocon, but have to win by multiple goal to do so. So yeah, again, they were trying to limit the damage and make sure not allow another away goal. The good news is they didn't do. They do just that. As in the end, it ends in a 1-1 draw. Shots in this one, 16 shots for the 10 that Tigres had, 4 shots on goal for the 6 that Columbus had, 2 shots off target for the 2 that Tigres had, 8 shots that was blocked for the 4 that Tigres had, and possession-wise, 53% possession compared to the 47% possession that Tigres has in this game. So the good news is that Columbus didn't lose this game. The bad news is Columbus didn't win this game. It ends in a draw, and that this feels very similar to what we saw last time when they were in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, or as it was called, the CONCACAF Champions League, where they were able to limit the damage a little bit. The problem is that once they get down to Mexico, and I think they were playing against Rayados, they got absolutely exposed in that game, and we'll see whether or not if that's going to be the same story. Probably it's going to be the same story, especially as I mentioned, MLS team has not been good in terms of going down to Mexico and get a resort, especially when teams has to go down to Alvocon, which is one of the most notorious places for away team to get anything out of it. It's one of the toughest places to play in Mexico, and I don't have a lot of good hope that Columbus can pull this off, especially if Cucho Hernandez and maybe some of the starters that they were missing in this game could be back in the second leg. Now we move on into the next matchup, and oh boy, yeah, this was not pretty. In fact, it ends up to be I think they said that the largest defeat that an MLS team have got against a Liga MX team on American soil in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and that this game kind of feels like it's a shades of what we saw last year between America and St. Louis, where when Club America is at their best and they're kind of like at their Man City kind of level, yeah, you're not gonna stop them, and especially with the way that New England has had a terrible season, and I had a feeling that they were going to to be manhandling this one. Yeah, this looks like it was always not going to be close. But yet, even then, I didn't think it was going to be this ugly. Especially in the first leg of this game. Though it kind of doesn't help the fact that literally this is a home game for Club America, as pretty much 90% of the crowd were America fans. I mean, I don't blame Rams fan for not showing up for this game, considering it's a 9 p.m. kickoff on a Tuesday. Nobody's going to show up for a 9 p.m. kickoff on Tuesday to Foxborough. I mean, nobody shows up for midweek games down at Gillette Stadium for Revs game in the first place. So why would you expect them to do so in a 9 p.m. kickoff? And not to mention, it was raining too on that night. So that's just a double whammy there for the fact that New England is not going to show up. And this is why, after this game, they actually show a rendering of the new stadium that they might put in Everett, Massachusetts. I guess maybe that's just a consolation prize to New England fans that, hey, yeah, we lost badly in this one, but hey, a new soccer specific stadium that we're about to build across the river from Boston. But that being said, in the 10th minute, first shot of the game, see Sanchez miss wide from close range. Unsurprisingly, it was all America early in this game. They were on the front foot. They were trying to get the opening goal. Though DeJuan Jones had a rare opportunity for the Revs as he hits a weak shot right to Maligan. But then the 60th minute, Club America scores. It's Henry Martins. He scored from DeRosa to make it 1-0 in favor of Club America. That's one that Edward Jr. should have done better because that was kind of hit right toward him. And by the way, Earl Edward Jr. was the goalkeeper in this game. Apparently, Caleb Porter said that he has benched Henrik Ravis after a sluggish start to this season. That is definitely a bold move because yes, although Ravis has definitely been inconsistent this season, I didn't expect the fact that Caleb Porter was going to make a statement. Just said, "Oh, I'm going to just bench him," and that now it seems like there's a bit of a goalkeeping controversy in New England. And after this game, I don't think the goalkeeping controversy is going to get any better whatsoever because Edward Jr.'s that got a chance in this game. Well, he definitely did not take his chances. He had a pretty much a horror show in this game against Club America, and this was one of his two mistakes that he made in this game. But that being said, in the 25th minute, Zendejas gets the second goal for Club America from Henrik Martins. Although this one, obviously, Edwin Jr. had he can't do anything about this because Zendejas basically roofed this one into the top of the net, and this is when I thought, yep, this is going to be a long night for the Rams because this looked like it's a shade of the St. Louis versus America game in the Leeds Cup opener. And if you're a St. Louis fan, I do apologize for the fact that I made a reference to this game, but the way how this game was playing, I thought I'm seeing a shade of that game in the Leeds Cup, and boy, I'm pretty sure St. Louis fan doesn't want me to have to remind how bad that game was for St. Louis when they play against America, especially with the way the final score line was literally the same as that game as well. But in the 36th minute, Sanchez would miss wide from long range before Edward Jr. is denied Fidalgo after just another giveaway from New England. Yeah, it feels like New England was trying to see who can see how many turnovers they can give away in this game because it was just a turnover parade for New England throughout this game, and it was also man's against boys too. I mean, Club America was by far the better team in this one, and they do head to halftime with a 2-0 lead. Now in the second half, Sanchez would miss wide from long range. It's been more of the same. America was allowed to do whatever they want on the attack, while New England again just doesn't feel like they doesn't even want to be there whatsoever. And then in the 63rd minute, Chicote Calderon would score the third goal of this game. And again, another moment that Edward Jr. don't want to remember because this was a cross that was coming in where he did not catch it. It was definitely catchable. He basically pumps it straight into the path of Chicote. And yeah, Chicote took advantage of it. It was 3-0. Dana Rosen then hits one right to Edward Jr.'s before Maligan denied Shankalai of a rare ref's opportunity before he denied Wood from close range as New England finally woke up. But yeah, maybe they should have woke up in the beginning of the game, not like in the 86th minute when they're 3-0 down. In this one, though, you can also say it's a combination of Club America started to take their foot off the gas a little bit. Maligan then denied Wood or actually, yeah, Maligan denied Wood on the doorstep of goal. This is when you start to unable to see the other side of the pitch because it seems like there's a pyro show that American fans have been put on, and this is also why that in the Massachusetts area or in the Boston area, they don't invite Club America to play in friendlies because apparently I've heard in Massachusetts law pyros are basically banned in stadium. This is why you don't see pyro show or smoke show at New England games because of that. And yeah, something tells me America fans are probably gonna be in trouble because of that. Though, even though they said that it's banned, what can you do about that? I mean, it's not like Massachusetts can just go to CONCACAF and say, "Hey, they broke the law there. You got to punish them for that." I don't think CONCACAF is gonna do anything about it. Especially CONCACAF is notorious in terms of looking the 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 other way. CONCACAF probably will just pay a certain amount of money to the Massachusetts government and say, "Here, just take this money so you don't say anything." And I would not be surprised if the Massachusetts government will take that bribe. Anyway, let's move back to this game because we kind of start to become talk a little bit politics, which is something we don't want to talk about in this channel. But what we do want to talk about is Club America getting the fourth goal. It's Brian Rodriguez scoring from Valdez to make it 4-0 in favor of Club America. Yes, it's that same Brian Rodriguez that used to play for LAFC that scored in this one to make it 4-0 and really just put the icing on the cake of just a dominant display that Club America had against New England. Shots in this one, 13 shots for the 9 that New England has, 3 shots on goal for the 7 that America has, 4 shots off target for the 2 that New England has. Both teams had 3 shots on block and possession-wise, 58% possession compared to 42% possession that New England has in this game. And while I know some will argue that, well, what did you expect when you have the one of the worst team in MLS facing against the best team in Liga MX? Yeah, but still, this is an embarrassment to MLS. And again, these two games, and even in the game against Inter Miami against Monterrey, if Inter Miami isn't going to get a good result, and if all 3 of these MLS teams is going to be eliminated in the quarter final, and we're not going to have an MLS team in the semifinal, which this feels like the first time in a long time that has happened because as bad as sometimes we haven't seen MLS team in finals in recent year, we always see MLS team at least made it as far as the semifinal, but there's a huge reality that it could not happen this year. This is a huge wake up call in terms of the league, and especially with these owners of just improve the quality of the league. Because I said it before, and I said it again. It feels like the owners and whatever the league decided to do with these roster their rules really holding back to this league and competing with Liga MX. And that while I said it a couple of years, the gap definitely has shrunk. And I will say that of course was the case, especially when the Sounders finally conquered the CONCACAF Champions League mountain for MLS. It feels like it's now started winding again because of what we've seen this year and even in previous year as well. And then don't give me the Leeds Cup as an excuse. I guarantee the owners and MLS is going to use the Leeds Cup as an argument as last year that, hey, what were you talking about? I mean, they did well in Leeds Cup. Yeah, that's because in Leeds Cup all the MLS and Liga MX team play in the US and also in Canada. There was no game in Mexico. And we've seen time and time again that when MLS team goes down to Mexico, it's almost a death sentence for them. They never do well down there, and unless the things drastically change in terms of improve the quality of this league, especially expanding the roster rule and maybe even increase the salary cap and the amount of designated player allowed, is going to be the reality that MLS is going to be. It feels like Liga MX has got stronger. Well, and MLS is definitely just staying in pat, and I'm very frustrated because of that. And I'm pretty sure everybody is frustrated that follow this league as closely as I am. But there you have it. That is pretty much it in terms of looking at these two games. And let's hope tonight Inter Miami doesn't embarrass himself against Rayados. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys do like, smash the subscribe button. As always, let me know in the comments below what do you think of both of these games. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.